Hi everyone, this is Sandy. Welcome to my channel again. This is a quick, easy little project that I created out of the Prima My Sweet A4 paper pad, the pages that I had left from my previous two projects from my design team package from Country Craft Creations. So this is something you might want to create to put inside of an album if you have a large enough pocket that's thick enough, or just as a gift or as a display. This is a accordion type album. It has a magnetic closure here on the front, but I also added a pocket on the front here with a decorative tab here, added some of the elements from the collection that I had left, the hearts. These are chipboard stickers. This is a chipboard sticker that I peeled the backing off. I added a jute button string twine bow. This you can order the string from Country Craft Creations. It's a thicker than thread, but thinner than other jute. So it's like I can't say what size it is. This one here, it says 100% jute, and you can order it by the yard at countrycraftcreations.com in lots of different fun colors. So you might want to grab some of that. Check that out on their website. Look under ribbons. So here in this pocket, I created this little folder here for photos. So it's a double photo mat in here, and that just slides in the pocket. But then it also gives me the bow here for my decorative, and I used one of the gemstones from the collection there. These were little black rhinestones I had in my stash. So this flap opens this way. So on the inside we have a photo mat. I left all of them open. See if I have something I can use to show you. Left them open, including the butterflies, so that you can slide your photo in there. This I left plain because that's part of the front. You open it up, you have a photo mat here. You can add these as you want to. There's a double photo mat here underneath all of this. So everything has a tuck spot. So this flap opens this way. So again, we can tuck up underneath this image here and here. And we have a belly band here if we want to utilize it, or can put something down over the top. This one flips back. Here's another photo mat opportunity. This is 4 small photo mats, and it's all butterflies open where you can stick something underneath. So this is just made with all the different scraps that I had left. I did have full-size sheets left of the A4 size for the pages, but then I utilized my scraps, including the My Colors and different cardstock from a previous project, and fussy cut out a lot of butterflies from the paper to make my own embellishments to keep them flat. This turns back and then it flips the other way. So we have this belly band, and these are buttons from the paper that I punched out with a 1/2-inch circle punch. So you can just stick something there or glue it down on top. We have 2 mats here. Flip this back. We have double here. Again, you can just tuck up underneath, and here's this with a belly band all the way across, and then again over here. But then this also is an accordion, so when you've got it like this, you can just pull it all out, and it's hard to show on the camera, and then it goes the other way. So it's just a fun accordion project, quick and easy to make. You can probably do it in the afternoon and have a great time, so stay tuned for the tutorial. So for this 6x6 accordion mini album, I'm going to be creating it out of 2 sheets of the linen artisan cardstock, and then I'm going to use the leftover solid sheets from this paper pad, My Sweet by Prima. It's an A4 size that I received in my design team package, so I have several sheets of the full size left, as well as some good size scraps here that I'm going to be using. So that's what I'm going to use for the project. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so to create our accordion album, I call it a 6x6, but actually once you do all your folding and everything, it is not quite that size. So this one's, I'm going to show you a little bit different than what I did. When I designed mine, I was going to do a different closure, but I ended up putting one here with a 1/4 inch, but I didn't have a 1/4 inch here. So I'm changing the design here that I'm giving you so that you will have a 1/4 inch on both sides, which will make it look a little bit better. It's not that big a difference, but I think it'll work out better for that. So you take your 2 pieces of cardstock, and we're going to cut from the 12 by 12 sheets, the 2 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. This is the linen color in the Artisan. You're going to cut 2 that are 6 inches by 12. And then you're going to cut 1 that is 11 3/4 by 6 by 11 3/4. And then for your flap, you want 1 that is cut at 5 inches by 6. So we're going to do the scoring. I've already done mine, but I'm going to go ahead and go over it with you. You take the 2 pieces that are the same, that are 12 inches long by 6, and you're going to put your 12-inch side in at the top, and I want you to score at a 1/2 inch and at 6 1/4 on both of these pieces. So these are scored the same. Your 6 inch by 12 inch cardstock score at a 1/2 inch and at 6 1/4. Okay, so those are the pages. Then for the cover, which is the 6 inch by 11 3/4, we're going to score at 5 3/4 and at 6. So that's going to give us our 1/4 inch there on the one side of our album. And then for our closure, your 5 inch by 6 inch, you're going to put your 5 inch in at the top and score at a 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch, and that will make our 1/4 inch spacing on the right side. So let me score that, fold that so that you can see. There's your 1/4 inch right there. So those are the pieces we need to assemble the pages and the cover all at once on this accordion album. So grab my bone folder, and I'm going to start folding and burnishing each score line. So this is the flap. So just make sure you get a nice, clean, crisp, burnished fold there. So there's that. Okay, and I'm going to finish the edges of mine like I did on the other one. I want to use the stub punch. So I just stub the 2 corners. You can use any decorative corner punch you have, the 2 opposite of the fold lines. So that's your closure piece. For your cover, just go ahead and fold up. I've already burnished mine pretty good, but I'm going to show you. Just go ahead and burnish each fold line to get that 1/4 inch in there. And once it's burnished good, it will hold it like that. And 2 pages, fold and burnish the hinge, 1/2 inch on each one, and then in half again. See, this will make your 5 3/4 section for the page. So your pages are actually, your album's actually 5 3/4 by 6. And that's to give us that 1/4 inch in there that we need. So I'm just straightening this up a little bit. For some reason it's wanting to lean one way or the other. So I'm just going to make sure I'm burnishing to straighten that out some. So you want it as straight as possible here on this corner where it matches up. Okay, there we go. And we'll do the other page as well. Get your 1/2 inch score burnished, and then your in half. Okay, so now we're ready to assemble. So we'll start with the pages. So you take one where you've got your hinge folded down like this, and you're going to take your glue. I'm using the art glitter glue. I'm just putting glue in that 1/2 inch hinge. So you take your other one, the edge that does not have a score line, and you're going to match it up into here. Push the edge all the way up to the fold line and bring them together. So if you need to stand it up to make sure they're going on straight, do that. Let's see here. Just go ahead and then burnish them in there like that. Get my bone folder and burnish so it attaches them until they're like one long piece like that. Okay, then we need to grab our folder, our cover piece. We want this 1/4 inch here on the left, and we're going to attach the remaining 1/2 inch hinge here on the straight edge of the page on the right side. So put your glue here on the 1/2 inch of the hinge, and then line this up the straight edge of the cover into the fold line of the page hinge right there, and burnish that. Okay, so now we have one long extended accordion that's going to fold up. So you're just going to fold it like that, and then the cover comes over it. So this is your back. You've got the hinge here. You're covering that with pattern paper. And this is the front here. So now this closure piece, and see we have the 1/4 inch here on the left. This is going to attach to the back of your album. And so you have the 1/4 inch on the right. So again, to fold this up, we have the 1/4 inch spacing here on the left. So you fold this one in, the next one fold is on the left, then the fold is on the right, and a fold is on the left. And that is how it is here in this one as well. Okay, so just double checking for you. So now we're ready to put our cover and closure, and it's going to go on the back, which is the side that has your hinge that's showing right here. You can see, there you go. So this, we're going to open it up, put your glue on your 1/2 inch space. Don't put glue on that 1/4 inch. And we're going to attach this. Double checking here. There's my 1/4 inch to the left, and I want it onto that seam, or that hinge part, right there on the back. And you want to make sure you don't go over your 1/4 inch space. So it's kind of hard to see right there. I'm just lining it up. So the fold of the back of the album goes up to the fold line of that 1/4 inch. And we burnish. So now when we fold it up, there it is with a 1/4 inch on the right, a 1/4 inch on the left. So it opens up. And then we have our pages that all accordion out. Okay, now you're ready to put the magnet, and then we'll go into the adding the pattern paper. So let me grab a magnet. Okay, so for the magnets, I had some in my stash. I'm using a metal disc here and a magnet here that does not have sticky. I usually use basic gray that I get from Country Craft Creations, but I was out. So I'm using this one. So you put your one magnet on the back side of your closure flap, or the inside of it, about 3/4 inch from the edge, center it, and then attach your other magnet to the back side of that, and then close your book up and attach them down. I did secure them with some clear tape. You can use score tape as well. So that's the basic construction of this album. And then, so now we select the papers, pattern papers from the collection to pattern the covers and the pages of our album. So I have selected 4 here for the front and inside of my covers. They're all the same size, even for the pages. So you're going to need a total of 12 that are 5 5/8 wide by 5 7/8 tall. Before you attach your papers down onto your album, if you want, go ahead and ink those. I'm going to ink mine with this Distress ink in the pumice stone color, which is a gray. And I'm going to kind of heavily ink the edges to kind of give it a vintage rustic look a little bit. If you don't want to ink it, that's fine. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I also just usually ink with the ink pad directly onto my paper. I can kind of uh, let it go over the edge a little bit if I want. And so I'm going to go ahead and ink all of these off camera. And so get yours all ready before we decide, go ahead and start gluing them onto the pages in the cover. So the next thing you will do is glue all your pattern papers in. So for example, here on the flap, just make sure that it's going in the right direction on all your pages. Like this one, it's going to go right here. I'm going to open it up so I can flatten it out. As you see, I use the stud punch on the cardstock of this flap, and then I use the deco punch on the two corners on the pattern paper. So I have all the patterned papers in my album on all the pages. And so you will just put in the papers you choose or whatever you have left or from the collection that you want to use. So I've done the covers in the rows here. I have the big dots and the animal print here. Then I put roses on these pages, the big dots. So I just used what I had left over. This sewing embellishments and small dots. And then on the other side, big dots, small roses, the green, and the butterflies. And so as you see, it just folds out as an accordion. And now I'm ready to finish the outside. So you'll see here I have the small roses on the flap and large roses on the left. Now I have cut a piece of cardstock for a flat pocket that's 2.5 inches by 5 7/8. So there's 2.5 by 5 7/8. And I'm going to glue this down as a flat pocket right here on the cover. But first I'm going to add the pattern paper, which is the larger roses, and that piece is 2 3/8 wide by 5 3/4 tall. So we're going to glue that right on there. Now I have my bottom piece a little bit wider, so I will trim that with my scissors so the measurement that I gave you is correct. And also I will have these in a cutting guide either in the description of the video, or I will type up a cutting guide and have the link to it on Google Docs for you. So go ahead and glue your pattern paper down. And since I made my bottom piece a little bit too wide, you see that on the edge, I don't want that. So I'm going to take my big scissors. And if you use your big scissors to cut a straight line, you can cut it really straight because you're only using the blade you move it only a couple of times. You can cut straighter with a big blade than you can with the small one. So I'm going to glue this pocket down about 1/4 of an inch from the right side. And I'm just going to put glue on the two short ends and then across the one long bottom edge. So attach that down. Again, I said about 1/4 of an inch from the right hand side. Go ahead and burnish that to make sure it sticks down good. And then I'm going to add this decorative flap piece, which I cut one piece out of cardstock that is 2 3/4 wide by 3 1/8 tall. And the pattern paper is 2 5/8 wide by 3 inches tall. I also stud punched the cardstock and then deco punched the corners of the pattern paper. So I have one here that didn't get punched quite right, so I'm just fixing that. And so now I'm ready to glue it together. But first I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges with the same gray ink color. And then I'm going to mat the pattern paper down onto the cardstock and then glue this piece onto the pocket. Then I'm going to take this and glue the left edge of this piece about a 1/4 inch from the left edge. And so I put my fingers so I know where to put the glue. You don't want to put glue on the back side because you don't want to seal up your pocket. So just make sure you're gluing just the right side down. You can also put a piece of plastic under there if you wanted to make sure it didn't glue down. So I'm just grabbing me a piece of paper and I'm just going to make sure that everything's free in there, that it's not glued down. And then I'm going to take, I have a few pieces of chipboard stickers left from my design team package. I'm just going to decide which ones I want to put on the front here. So I think I'm going to use this button card one, and I think I'll use this other lady. Yeah, I like that better. But I'm going to make the button card. I'm going to pull the chipboard backing off. So I just want the single front layer. So I'm going to peel all this off so that it is flatter, doesn't stick up as much. And then the lady will be taller and sit on top of that. So I'm just go ahead and get my glue. I love this because it has the gold foil in it. So put a good amount of glue on it because it is kind of rough and you want to make sure it sticks good. I'm just going to stick that down on the left side. And then I'm going to stick this lady there. So I'm going to peel the paper backing off so it is sticky, but I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the back. Make sure it stays on. But it looked a little bit crooked, so I'm just straightening it up some. Okay. Now you could also put flat pockets inside of your book, but I think I'm just going to put photo mats. So I'm just deciding where I want to put different photo mats inside. And I am not going to show you all of those because it's going to depend on your photos and your leftover papers, what size photo mats you want to use. So I used a combination of my colors in the cream and the pink, as well as some of the pattern papers for my mats inside. So this concludes our tutorial on how to make this accordion album. I will do more decorating here on the front. I will add a booklet that I'll include the measurements in the cutting guide, but I'm not going to show it on camera. It's just a piece of 6-inch pattern paper that I fold in half and create a booklet and add some photo mats, and that inserts into the pocket here on the front. So, and thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so you know when I have my next video up. Be sure to check out countrycraftcreations.com for your crafting supplies, and I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye-bye.